I want you all to close your eyes for 1 second. Imagine yourself waking up in your bed. You walk up over to the window, open the drapes, and you would hope to see a beautiful blue sky, white clouds, grass, the birds humming, something beautiful. Well, let me tell you something. When you open the window, you get shocked. You're surprised because you see an orange landscape, gray clouds in the sky, no grass, no trees, no animals whatsoever, and gigantic piles of trash on the streets and on the sidewalks. This seems like a horrible reality, right? Well, let me tell you something. Oh, by the way, you can open your eyes right now. Let me tell you something. This reality is the year 2050. 2050, less than 20 years from now. Aren't you scared? Aren't you afraid that this is the reality that we are going to face, that our parents are going to face, that our children are going to face? Well, I, for one, think that we can do something to change this. So, I brought to you several evidences of what is currently happening. These two pictures, on the left you can see the picture of a small town in Hawaii called Lahaina. This picture was consumed by a deadly wildfire, killing almost 200 people. And on the left, you can see a picture of Kelowna, Canada. Well, a picture of Kelowna, Canada, with also another gigantic wildfire. These consequences are the things that are leading to this horrible reality of 2050 that I just explained to you. Here's another example. Almost every year, I go with my family to a beautiful town called Valle de Bravo on the state of Mexico. This town is known for having beautiful forests surrounding a natural lake, which is also a reservoir that supplies water to Mexico City and other parts of the Central Valley of Mexico. As you can see, the first picture was taken in the year 2019. You see the beautiful lake, even a boat. It's amazing. The next picture was taken this year, a couple months ago. As you can see, both pictures are in the same place, but there's no water whatsoever. This lake is drying. We're losing our water, and we're not doing anything. We can just stare at the consequences and hope that something happens, that someone else makes something to save us. Well, not really. So, what can we do? The United Nations has seen that things are getting really bad. And in order to prevent this horrible reality from occurring, they came up with the 17 goals for sustainable development. This set of goals ensures that humanity will develop in a sustainable way and in a way that will not be hurtful to the environment and will be fair and just for everyone. Along with this set of goals, they published a report in 2016 where they detailed that before 2030, we had to complete two goals. First, we have to decrease the amount of carbon dioxide emissions by roughly 70%. Second, we have to prevent the global average temperature from increasing over 1.5 degrees Celsius. This might seem small, and it is, which means that we have a very, very small margin of error. So we really have to commit. We really have to do something. What is the solution, you might ask? Well, sustainability. Sustainability is a term that was first introduced to the world in 1987 in the Brundtland Report by the World Commission on Environment and Development. This report, published by this organization, featured many ways in which us people and companies could develop and carry on our daily tasks without harming the environment and without hurting our planet. Of course, this had a huge impact on its time. For the next following years, many companies switched their missions and their visions in a way that they would be favorable to the environment. What has happened? The concept of sustainability has been buried in the past. Nowadays, most companies, even though their missions still remain the same, they're not doing anything. You can see gigantic amounts of companies littering, creating huge carbon dioxide emissions, and polluting our planet, our home. Basically, destroying the only place where we can be. But let me tell you something. If we commit, if we decide to take a step and do a lifelong commitment to live a sustainable life, we can save our planet. there's still hope. Before I go on with the rest of my talk, I want to show you electric vehicles. I think we're all familiar with electric vehicles by now, and the market shows that there is an increasingly, dramatically increasing trend towards people who are buying these cars because they generate no emissions, because companies sell them as green or eco-friendly. But let me tell you something. This car is creating the same carbon footprint as a gas fuel car, or even worse. Why, you might ask? Because it generates no emissions. Of course, it's safe, it's green. But take into consideration that for the manufacturing process of the car and the mining process for the materials required for the lithium battery, there's at least 300,000 tons of carbon dioxide emissions each year. Of course, it's good because these cars create no emissions while they're functioning. But let me tell you something. Once these cars are done with their lifespan, their useful life, the batteries have to be discarded. And these batteries have components that not only decay over time, but generate a large amount of pollution. These lithium batteries contain materials that have to be harvested from the underground and then have to undergo several chemical procedures in order to be able to fit into a car. These batteries last for almost 10 to 20 years. However, companies usually just litter the batteries or throw them in the ocean. And did you know that one of these batteries is capable of polluting 6,000 liters of water? 600,000 liters of water? That's the size of 2 Olympic swimming pools. And I ask you all, don't you think this is alarming? Don't you think it's worrying that social media and marketing are telling us something and we're having hopes for it, but turns out it's worse. It turns out that it could be actually leading us to our death. But don't panic. Here comes the good part. Yes, it might seem like a cliche. Many of us have heard of the 3 R's. That is reduce, reuse, and recycle. Yes, we all have practiced this at a certain point in our lives, but they are really useful to achieving our purpose. If we reduce the amount of trash that we generate, if we reuse the amount of materials that we have to use on a daily basis, and if we recycle our trash, we can achieve a difference. I wanted to show you my personal project because I think it's beautiful. I don't know what you think, but I think it's amazing. And let me tell you a story. When we were in high school, one of my teachers presented an initiative in which we have to develop something sustainable, something green, something that will probably not help the planet, but reduce the impact that we create on it. So I made this beautiful pencil case, which I use still unto this day, and it handles them really well. And as you can see, I took a green bottle and I glued a zipper, a leftover zipper from a costume, around it. And there you go, a pencil case. Not only am I reusing, but I am also reducing the trash that I produce, and I am also recycling materials. This is what I'm talking about. Every time you see an opportunity, take it. You might, because in the end, if you do this, and you do this as well, and you also do this, the impact will be gigantic, and we can actually achieve a difference. So, the key takeaways that I want you to remember, of course, are these 5 tips that I brought for you. Of course, I organized them in a way that will be easier from top, and the ones on the bottom will be the hardest. First, we have to extend the useful life of our plastic products. Let me give you an example. Every time we have to wash our teeth, we use toothpaste. And if you don't, well, I don't know what to think. But we have to use toothpaste. Commercials and even the product instructions are telling us to use this amount of toothpaste. Of course, this is not to scale. This is just my representation, but I hope you can understand it. And instead of using this amount, we only need this, a pea-sized amount of toothpaste. If we stick to using that amount of toothpaste, we can extend the life of one toothpaste roll up to 3 times its usual duration. This is just one example, but you can do it probably with cleaning products. You can also do it with perhaps a shampoo, a gel, etc. Next, categorize your trash into multiple categories. Many cities nowadays are incorporating new ways of waste management programs in which if in your house, if you separate your trash, it gets disposed of properly. Let me give you an example. At my house, we divided our trash into 5 categories: inorganic, organic, glassware, aluminum, and organic matter. These 5 categories help the city waste management facility to know what to do with the waste that we have created. And yes, it might seem like a hassle. I know that you get to your home tired and you have no time to actually separate and buy three, four, 5 trash cans. But if you can, it will really help the planet. Also, buying biodegradable and eco-friendly products. You have seen probably in the supermarket, at Costco, at Sam's, you have seen products that claim to be biodegradable or dissolvable in water, or even compostable. These are the new presentations of products nowadays. So, if you go to the supermarket and you see this, you have to put it to the test. Don't trust what the label says. If you buy a biodegradable dish, you could submerge it in water overnight, and once you leave it there, if you get to the next day and you see that it has not dissolved, then it's not biodegradable. Don't buy it. If it is dissolved, then congratulations. You just found an alternative. You should buy that product. Stick to getting those things. Also, please, I know this one is the hardest even for me. I'm a compulsive shopper, but you have to donate your clothes and resist the urge of buying more clothes. Take an example. I have a ton of clothes that someday probably I will outgrow, or that they will no longer look good. What can I do to them? Instead of just throwing them in the trash, what if I donate them to my cousin or to my father, if it fits, of course, or even to a foster home, to any other place? If you donate them, not only are you favoring a circular economy where the waste is reused and no waste is generated at all, but you're also doing a favor to the planet by reducing the amount of trash generated. And of course, reduce purchasing frequency. Most brands, especially fast fashion brands such as Zara or even H&M, they want us to purchase our clothes with a very high frequency. Let me put you an example. I don't know if you're aware of this, but H&M clothes are designed to be ripped apart or torn or be absolutely unwearable after 3 machine washes. And I ask you, how many times have you worn that blouse or that shirt or that hoodie? Do you actually wear them all the time, or do you wear them 3 times, then say it's old, and then you throw it away? So I encourage you, don't buy clothes you don't need, and donate the ones that you no longer want. This is the most important part. Now, to the hardest. This last option, installing solar devices such as solar panels, solar heaters, or rainwater recollection systems, it is very expensive, but it creates a gigantic impact. Not only for the planet, but also for you. Let me give you an example. If you install solar panels, yes, you will spend a heck ton of money, but in the end, you will not be paying any electricity bills. Or you will pay an amount closer to this instead of an amount closer to this. So yeah, it's very, very expensive, but if you have the financial capacity and the ability to do so, I recommend you do it. Not only will you be saving some bucks in the future, but also you will be helping our planet a lot. But why are these 5 tips important? They might seem like very small. I mean, yes, I bought something biodegradable. Yes, I'm sustainable. Okay, yes, it's true. But the most important thing about this is teamwork. If we do this all together, if I do this, if you do this, if you all commit to doing so, then it will actually create a significant difference. So like I said, we're all in this together. It's all about teamwork. It is our planet, and unfortunately, we have to face the role of saving it from destruction and ruin. We have to commit. We have to make sacrifices. But believe me when I tell you this, if we all commit, it will be worth it. You don't have to be scared of making a change. If you have a curiosity or want to investigate more of something, do it. I encourage you to find the right information, to get the right things that will help our planet. But remember, none of this will be useful if we don't commit to it. Let's make things happen. Let's make this happen. Let's save our home. Thank you.